check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All good? 1, 2, 2. Hey, 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 hey. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. All good. Thank you. Die makkelijkste gaan wees is in de stoor aan die linkerkant bo, waar die paddles is op 2 en is op 2 randbystands. So al net die paddles af en dan 2 mics, daar 2 stands en dan so sien in die plastic is daar aan die regterkant is daar mic clips. So daar gryp in die 2 mics. Check maar net dat hulle kan inskroef. Thanks. Mic check, this is the roving microphone. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Microphone check, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Audio check 1 2. This is the roaming mic, question and answer microphone 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Testing sound 1 2 3 4. Testing microphones 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Microphone check 1 2 2. Microphone check 1 2 2. Hey hey hey. Microphone check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Microphone check 1 2 3 4 5 6. All good? Thank you. Can they hear me? I'm talking over the microphone. Can they hear that? Okay. Because it's closed on my desk. So If someone is... Okay. Is there anyone on this line?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Loud and clear?
Yes,
Thank you. If you don't mind, just stay on the line, please. Thank you.
sure.
Can you please identify yourself with your name and surname?
Yes.
No, no. Probably a minute away. We're just getting these names of who's on the other.
If there's anyone on the poly line, if you can just identify yourself, please. Other than Heather.
In a Stanford radio.
Thank you. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gregory Shanahan, and I'm solicitor for Dilworth Trust Board. I want to welcome you here and thank you for attending. You're going to hear from the chairman of the Dilworth Trust Board, Mr. Aaron Snodgrass, who is on my left, and from the headmaster of the Dilworth School, Mr. Dan Rediex, who's on my left. I just wanted to set out the ground rules for our conference this afternoon and to give you an opening explanation as to why we are here and why we are doing this. First of all, as will be known to all of you as members of the press, that the matters that are before the court are matters about which we cannot talk, and we will not be talking about the matters that are before the court. Dilworth does not want to do anything that will jeopardise the rights of the defendants to a fair trial, or to in any way undermine the orders which the courts have made in respect of suppression of the names of the defendants or the names of those who have come forward and made complaints. In terms of the order of today, Mr. Snodgrass will make a statement on behalf of the Trust Board, and he'll be followed by Mr. Rediex as headmaster of the school. Once their statements have been concluded, there is to be no further communication with the press. They will not take nor will they answer questions from the floor or make any further statements. I want to just talk about why we're here today. It's been a long-standing policy of the Dilworth Trust Board and its school to promote openness, transparency in all its dealings. And as you'll appreciate, this topic that we have to talk about today is a very difficult and sensitive topic, but nonetheless the board took all steps possible to ensure that it would be free to stand and speak about this topic rather than be subject to any form of suppression or restriction on its ability to do so. And the reason for taking that stance was so that it could speak to its communities, namely its students, to its staff, and to the parents and other communities that are the overall Dilworth communities, as well as to its old boys. And as you'll appreciate, the Dilworth School has 3 campuses spread around Auckland and has a large community of old boys around New Zealand. So it's for those reasons that the school has been proactive in ensuring that it can stand up and speak to the public as well as to its communities about these issues which are of grave concern to it as it will be to the community. So on that note, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Aaron Snodgrass, Chairman of the Trust Board.
Thank you, and thank you all for attending this afternoon. I am Aaron Snodgrass, Chairman of the Dilworth Trust Board. Today, criminal charges were laid against people formerly connected with Dilworth School relating to allegations of historic sexual abuse. We have been fully engaged with the police throughout their inquiries into these incidents. Over the last 114 years, 5,200 students have passed through the gates at Dilworth, including myself. Regrettably, there are members of our old boy community who have suffered abuse during their time at our school. Mostly this historic abuse was physical and emotional, such as bullying and excessive corporal punishment, but sadly also sexual abuse. We deeply regret what has occurred in our school's past and the detrimental effects on our old boys who suffered abuse in our care. We are truly sorry. The school's processes for dealing with allegations of abuse have evolved and improved progressively, particularly over the last 25 years. In 2018, as the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Abuse in Care was being established, and the findings of similar inquiries were finalised in Australia, the United Kingdom, Ireland and Canada, the Dilworth Trust Board took a leadership role in reviewing and improving its processes covering the prevention and reporting of alleged abuse. We commissioned an independent review by leading psychologists and experts of the school's student care and wellbeing policies and programs. We implemented all the review panel's findings and recommendations to make our school the safest possible environment for our students, and we are confident that our student welfare framework is best practice. As part of this review, and to raise awareness, last year I wrote to all old boys and parents acknowledging and apologising for historic abuse, and also outlining what we are doing to lead the way in providing a safer school environment so the young men in our care can enjoy their education in a safe way as envisaged by our founder. We established a confidential free listening service for old boys if they want to discuss their experiences with an independent clinical psychologist. And if they need further support, counselling can be arranged with a psychologist at no extra cost to them. We also offered support to any old boy who wanted to share their experience at Dilworth with the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Abuse, or to make a complaint with the police. Dilworth has fully engaged with the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Abuse, and we will continue to do so. We believe the inquiry is a once-in-a-generation look at how we can ensure students in our care and across the country can enjoy their education in a safe environment. The board has actively sought to have any suppression of Dilworth's name waived in connection with the proceedings currently before the courts, and I'd like to share our reasons for taking this step. Primarily, we felt it was important to be able to discuss this sensitive issue and our response to it openly with our school community, and name suppression would have made this practically impossible. We also sought clinical advice, and this supported our intent to be transparent as a means of encouragement to other survivors to come forward. So to any old boy that suffered abuse while at Dilworth, I want you to know that if you engage with our listening service, you will be listened to, you will be believed, and you will receive the professional support you need. Finally, I want to make it clear that the recent charges are historical and relate to alleged abuse of former students. None of the individuals charged continue to be connected with Dilworth School. The board has full confidence in the school's student welfare framework, the current employees led by our headmaster, Dan Reddix. I'd like to ask Dan to make a statement on behalf of the school.
Good afternoon. As Aaron has said, my name is Dan Reddix and I'm the headmaster at Dilworth School. My journey at the school is still in its infancy, having been appointed as the headmaster in 2019. But even in the short time that I've held this privileged position, the special character, mission and spirit of our school and community has left its mark on me. Naturally, as a father, an educator and a human being, the recent charges of allegations of historical sexual abuse are both appalling and deeply saddening. I cannot comprehend the trauma or pain those who have suffered abuse must have endured. And for this hurt, we are truly sorry. And so I want to be absolutely clear. The Dilworth School I know and lead today has zero tolerance for abuse of any kind. The health, safety and well-being of our students is our single greatest priority and responsibility. We know that a safe environment is instrumental to our students flourishing both personally and academically. To this end, we are constantly reviewing best practice, incorporating input from independent expert advisors, applying learnings from international inquiries and from latest research. These reviews have driven significant change within our school, including the adoption of policies, processes and protocols that focus extensively on preventing abuse of any kind. And we've shared those policies with other schools. The training and education of staff and students around those processes and protocols, reinforcing the key message that abuse in any form will not be tolerated. The creation of a dedicated committee to oversee our abuse prevention and response programs. Safety improvements to our buildings and the monitoring of movements around Dilworth School. Creating a culture where students are encouraged to speak up and speak out against abuse, knowing that the adults are listening and that they will act. And being the first New Zealand school to seek Child-Wise accreditation. This certification is based on the 10 guiding principles that came out of the Australian Commission of Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse. With the advent of these charges and allegations relating to historical sexual abuse, Dilworth School chose to waive name suppression. The purpose in doing so was to acknowledge our past and to provide ourselves a platform to speak openly to our school community about historical issues and to assure them of the safety of their children in the Dilworth of today. There is no denying the issue of historical abuse has cast a dark shadow over our school, but it need not and it will not define us. I am hopeful and expectant that the enduring legacy of these historical issues will be a safer school community and a richer student experience. We will continue to support those in our community who have been affected by abuse while in our care. We will take all necessary steps to ensure that this chapter in our past is never ever repeated again. My energy and efforts will be centred on our current cohort of students and those who are awarded Dilworth scholarships in the years ahead. It's incumbent on my team and I to ensure that their Dilworth journey is a remarkable, fulfilling and life-changing one. That's why we are here, and that is what we're committed to. I am sure that many of you will have questions you may wish to ask. As mentioned previously, we're unable to comment further at this time, and on the advice of counsel we won't be taking questions as the matters are currently before the courts. We will, however, keep you updated as and when we can. Our focus now is on the well-being of our current students, supporting our old boys and our wider Dilworth community. Thank you very much for being here.
So thank you very much, everybody. And as I mentioned at the outset, that really is the conclusion of our presentation. As I said, there won't be any questions, but we do thank you for your attendance and for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for attending this afternoon. I am Aaron Snodgrass, Chairman of the Dilworth. Thank you, and thank you all for attending this afternoon. I am Aaron Snodgrass, Chairman of the Dilworth Trust Board. Today, criminal charges were laid against people formerly connected with Dilworth School relating to allegations of historic sexual abuse. We have been fully engaged with the police throughout their inquiries into these incidents. Over the last 114 years, 5,200 students have passed through